Welcome. We are one. We are BITMAIN, and we cause massive FOMO.
What's going on, guys? Welcome. I don't know what's going on with the stream. I noticed it kept going to the spinning wheel. So if you are delayed or something, hit that refresh button. I actually had to do it a couple times, but I don't know. There's some issues going on. I'm almost wondering when this happened. It's a couple of weeks now we've actually been having some issues. I'm just trying to determine if it's when the E300 came online or not, because maybe it's a bandwidth issue. I don't know. There's something crazy going on here, and I don't really know what it is yet, but one day I'll get to the bottom of it. So what do we got? Dumpster fire. I'm at 17. You're at 17? Freedom Prospector 2.24%. What are we talking about? What's going on? What's 2.2%? Anyway, we don't have too much in the house today. We got Andres 23007, Skirm, Ledok. I butchered that. I know I did. Welcome. I believe that's from LOL Miner. We got Ninja Kid, Goozy, Dumpster Fire, Skirm, Kazaku Bogdan. So we're going to run through some numbers here, kind of see what this looks like. Hey, Alexander Fleener, what's going on? Also, I want to talk a little bit about Ledger. Ledger looks like, I don't know, some bad things are happening at Ledger right now. It pretty much went against crypto, and they went against everything they stood for. So we'll kind of remind me to talk about that. Maybe I'll forget about it once we get into this KS3 stuff. But yeah, it's not looking good. I think I'm going to smash mine and start using something else. Anyway, so yes, as we know, what just happened here? I had heard some weird thing just happen in my headset or something. Anyway, so as we know, the KA3 or KAS3 or KS3 or whatever the heck this thing is called now, BITMAIN officially tweeted it out. And as we know, coming from BITMAIN, this is actually a legit company, not Ice River. They're guessing the price for a $10,000 coupon. T-Swift, I believe, said their coupons are only about usually 30% of the total price. So we're looking at a pretty pricey miner here in that case. We got 8.3 terahash at 3,188 watts. So we're going to run through some numbers here, kind of have a look at things. First, let's actually look at the current network hash rate. We're at 1.18 petahash. That is 1.18 petahash on the entire Caspa network. Now, you know, originally it's like, okay, Caspa hash rate's picking up, it's going insane, GPU profitability is coming down, yada, yada, yada. But this hash rate is extremely small to what we can expect. So here, let's just jump in here, and here. So here we have the miners. I do have the KS0, KS1, KS2, KS3 going through here. Now, T-Swift asked me to actually try a 3070. So we're going to kind of, what is happening with my testing? That is so weird. I'm hearing my voice through my headset. I have something messed right up here. Let's turn that off. I don't want to hear myself. All right, here we go. So here's an RTX 3070. Now, this is the profitability right now. Currently, before power, if you had free power, they're at about 17 cents on a 3070, current network hash rate and stuff. Now, if 2,000 of these miners sell and go online, most likely there will be at least this amount in the first couple batches here. That brings the 3070 profitability down to 1 cent. An RTX 3070 on free power will make 1 cent at the current price, and with 2,000 miners online, with 5,000 miners online, that brings it down to a half a cent at the current price. That is crazy. You imagine having free power, an RTX 3070 on Caspa and making less than a half a cent? That is just mind-blowing to think of. But that's essentially what's going to happen. Now, we got to think, how many miners will actually come online? How many do you think BITMAIN will sell? Remember, this is BITMAIN. They don't care if they destroy networks or anything. What they want to do is sell their miners. So as many as they have, they will try to sell them all. They don't care what's going to happen to the hash rate. They want to make their money. So early on, you know, I don't know what it was with Cadena. I think it took about a month to hit around the 2,000 mark, a couple months to hit the 5,000 mark. I'm not sure where exactly we are right now. I haven't ran the Cadena numbers, but as we know, the profitability on the KA3s severely dropped. So here's just a comparison here, kind of. 2,000 miners equals 16,600 terahash. 16.6 petahash. We just seen 1.12 or 1.16 is total network hash rate on Caspa alone right now. And this is 16 times more hash rate with only 2,000 miners. And with 5,000 miners, that is 41,500 terahash, 41.5 petahash, 41 times more hash rate could hit. So we got to figure out here. Now, we also have the Caspa emission schedule. We kind of got to roll through. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the emissions of Caspa, every single month it does drop a little bit, and it works out to be a full halving every 1 year. So right now we're in May. We are at this point right here. We are at 220 Caspa. Now, when do you guys think this KS3 will drop? When do you think they'll actually be shipping? In 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? They've got to do their pre-orders, take everything. So how long until we actually see this miner ship, do you guys think? Is it going to be 1 month, 2 months when they actually start sending out their orders? So we're going to change our numbers a little bit based on when we guess these things will actually ship. GPU miners getting slow. Yeah, GPU miners, I don't like. I'm a GPU miner, obviously. GPU mining, you know, we're definitely, it's not looking good for the next bull run. Unless a lot of hash rate turn off and people give up on GPUs, that's the only way we're actually going to see some decent profitability, or we see something really pump. But all the coins that are currently profitable are kind of moving away from GPUs, but we don't know for sure, but we'll see what happens. I am too. This sucks. They got to hype it up. I'm thinking over a month. Over a month. So let's say 2 months. Let's go with 2 months until we actually see shipments roll out. So we're here. So that means the Caspa block reward when these things actually get shipped out will be about 195.99. So we're going to go with 196. No, we'll just go with 199.9 because that's what it's saying. So we got to figure out what our emissions are going to be at this point. So per 24 hours, we're at 86,400 seconds. 86,400 times that, because it is 1 second block times 195.99. That is 16.9 million coins per 24 hours. So if we come back into here, we can see right now we're at 19 million coins. So in 2 months, this is already dropping like 3 million coins, just under 2 point something because it's 16.9. So let's just adjust this number now to when these will ship. So remember, this is in 2 months time that we're estimating these will be the block rewards and stuff. So we're going to go down now. I'm going to put in 16,933,536. So this will be the new Caspa emission. So I'm just going to copy this now. Actually, I'm going to keep this number just over here so we have it for right now. And then we're going to adjust all these ones. Copy. So in 2 months, this will be the daily emissions of Caspa. And well, we can see in 2 months time now that brings our 3070 down to 0.003 cents if 5,000 of these miners come online. So now we got to adjust this to take a look at some profits. So do you guys want to actually look at the KS0, 1, 2, or 3, or are we just going to look at the KS3? Because that's pretty much what everyone cares about right now. These other miners are obviously getting dominated at this point. And that also leads us to the other question, like Ice River. What mine, like look at the naming scheme, KS0, KS1, KS2, KS3. BITMAIN's is obviously this KS3. So this opens up the huge flood bank of the naming schemes. Ice River, obviously it's looking like they weren't even a manufacturer in the first place, even though that's what they claimed. So are these just early test models of the BITMAIN ASICs? And remember, they couldn't get this to work. They've been waiting for firmware to update, and then they say eventually we'll be able to mine your own nodes in any pool you want. Then we see BITMAIN pop up this firmware. Now we're seeing them in stock, and there's a whole bunch of questions that still have no answers to them yet. But right now, let's check out this KS3. So 8.3 terahash. Let's go to 8.3 terahash. This is all set up in gigahash, so we do have to go 8,300. And 8,300 and 8,300. So in 2 months time, in 2 months, we're going to be going, we went from 3,000 something like it is right now. If it was to release today, if BITMAIN was mining on theirs today, they'd be a little over $3,000 per day if they had free power. Now, in 2 months' time, just based on the emissions alone of right now, that is down to 2,746. After 2,000 miners, that is 168. And then $70 once 5,000 miners hit the network. So now we have to decide, you know, what could the price be at this point? There's so many guesstimations we don't know right now, but these are things we have to consider. But right now we're basing on a price of a little over 2 cents. So 2.1 cents here is the pricing we got this on. KS02. You want the KS02? Okay, because now remember, this is the worst miner of them all. The KS0 is the worst miner. It's also one of the cheaper ones, and obviously, and this thing, you know, severely blows out a GPU by, you know, 100 gigahash on 100 watts. That's pretty insane. Looks super efficient, but this is in fact the least efficient and worst performing miner of the whole list here. And this thing is actually amazing. At least it is for now in numbers. All right, so let's look at that. So 100. So 100 gigahash. So we're just going to put 100 in here. So in 2 months' time, that is $33 a day. That doesn't look too bad. Right now, we're like, hey, you know what? I'm good with $33 a day and only using 100 watts. That'd be awesome. 2,000 of these miners sell. Well, we're now down to $2. But $2 a day for only 100 watts still is looking pretty good in profitability ranges. That's actually still way better than what Ethereum was, because you're still only using 100 watts. Now, let's take a look if... You know, once 5,000 of these miners hit the network, that is 84 cents, which I guess still isn't really that bad, but you know, you can see how bad it's dropping. Eventually, it won't look too hot. But again, you know, what if the price pumps? The price could pump up. We could double that, so literally double all our profitability here. Or, you know, it could go down more. We're going to see a lot of sell pressure, a lot of centralization. The big argument as well, a lot of people are trying to compare this to Bitcoin. So now we're looking at GPU mining. Obviously, a lot of GPUs, they're not dedicated to the algorithms. And this is the big question and the big spiel between is GPU mining versus ASICs. It's the big thing here. GPU mining is more versatile. It goes wherever it wants. Obviously, if something becomes not profitable, you just move to another coin. It's not dedicated hash per se for a network. So once you do get dedicated hash, that's where the ASICs come in. You buy a Caspa ASIC, you're most likely, you only have the option to mine Caspa. Now, if it still gets unprofitable based on your power price, you're going to have to turn it off. But this is dedicated hash, and hash rate they don't really have to worry about unless the price falls below, you know, X amount of levels or something. So there is that argument on ASICs versus GPUs, but GPUs obviously a lot more cost effective, easier for most people to get their hands on. RabidMining, how long Osprey and KS0 have until they are scrapped? Well, you know, that very question comes down to pretty much when these miners actually release. When will BITMAIN release these miners? Like right now, we're looking at the current block emissions of in 2 months' time, when we're guesstimating that they will actually begin shipping at that point. Could be later, could be before. So we won't really know when GPUs, the KS0 in this case, or even the Ospreys will be dead on Caspa until we know the actual shipping dates. From then, all we really have is a ticking time bomb. We're going to have to watch the network, see how fast the hash rate picks up, depending on how many of these miners sell. From then, we'll have a better idea. But I'm thinking, if we take Cadena in any way about it, I think 1 month after the first shipment gets turned on to people's houses. So, example, let's say all of us right now ordered these KS3s. All of a sudden, the day they actually ship out and they make it to our house and get turned on, we probably have about 1 month from there that we will start seeing everything else falling off the network, because it probably won't be worth it. But, you know, on the side at least on the defense of Osprey, they do have another coin that we're most likely going to move to, and that is Radiant, RXD. So that's probably the next coin that obviously the Ospreys are really looking for. I'm still waiting for the updates on that, and going to be swapping to that ASAP as soon as it's available, depending on the hash rates and performances. But there is more choices available for that, and there still isn't really many choices available for a lot of the GPUs. There is Nexa and stuff like that, but you know, eventually we might only be able to fall back to the original pre-ETH talked about coins like FLUX, Ravencoin, and so on. And all of those coins are still not profitable. And there isn't even that much hash rate on those coins in terms of hardware. So there's still a big uncertainty moving forward in a lot of things. So like 3 months. Going from today, guessing that they'll be shipping in 2 months. Yeah, we can probably guesstimate about 3 months from today would be a safe bet. But again, we don't know. It could be, we could still have another 6 months for all we know. Like we don't know when these are actually going to ship, how many there are going to be sold, and so on. Now, BITMAIN's also very interesting on their spot sales. So I think there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, originally, they have their spot sales and then everything, their miner sells out in like 5 to 10 seconds. So a couple things happen here. One, they may only have a couple units available for that spot sale, or they've already done their bulk sales in the background to mining farms and people who want to buy it, like at least 10 to 50 of these things. So we got to keep that in mind. Then they throw their spot sale on and it looks like a decent price. And then they just raise the price after the 5-10 second sellout just to say, hey, this isn't super high demand. You better get your hands on one. It's almost like a marketing play. And then they raise the price even more later on. So that's what we kind of seen with the E300s, except that one didn't really sell, or the E9 Pro, I mean, but that one didn't really sell out. Not too many people were interested in it because it actually isn't that great of a miner. A lot of people think it's awesome. Personally, myself, it's all about the efficiency, and BITMAIN, the E9 Pro, isn't really that efficient. It has nice high hash rates, low power, great, but it's not that great. So I think we're going to see what that spot sale looks like. I'm expecting a 5 to 10 second sellout because there's probably only a couple miners for sale in the first place, and a lot of that stuff was done in the background. But until we actually see these things actually ship, yeah, we can say about 3-4 months until everything else pretty much becomes obsolete. Caspa won't pump. They killed with ASIC miners. So there's a huge, we don't know what's going on there either. Now we're getting dedicated hash. Remember, someone actually mentioned when Canaan dropped the first Bitcoin miner, and it was pretty much the same boat. Everyone said, oh, okay, now Bitcoin's dead. No one else can mine it, yada, yada, yada. And now look at Bitcoin today. So majority of Caspa has been mined. What is it? 62% of Caspa has been mined already. Due to, look at the first, what is this here? The first, how many months is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 6 months, first half a year, the block reward is 500. And then, oh, you guys can't even see that because I don't have it on the right screen. But the first block reward here was 500. And then it started doing its emission schedule, 440, 415, yada, yada, yada. So the majority of Caspa was already mined in these first, within the first year of Caspa. We're just moving into the second year right now, and our block rewards are less than half of when it first opened up. So most of that Caspa is gone. And then eventually, it's going to keep dipping down. And it does, in theory, have about a 15-year schedule. But look at the block reward in 15 years. 0.01 Caspa. 0.01. Finding a block at 0.01. That's not very much Caspa. But at this point, maybe the price of Caspa, obviously, it could be huge. We don't know. We have no idea. But majority of that Caspa is already being held by the early miners. So, it's up to them actually to determine, is Caspa going to die or not? Because if they just sell everything, then obviously that'll cause that. But there is going to be massive sell pressure happening to cover miner expenses because, like, what is this? Let's go back to this and just kind of see what they're making per day. Let's go back to that 8300 here. So, like, look at this. 128,000 coins now. Remember, if it was released today in an earlier video, it was about 144,000. We're guessing 2 months here. So in 2 months' time at the emissions, that's 128,000 coins per 24 hours. That's still a lot of coins that could essentially be getting dumped daily per miner, or being hodled until a little price pump and then drop the bomb completely. There's still a lot of coins here that could cause a lot of sell pressure. We don't know, on top of essentializing the networks and things like that. So yeah, crazy. We are solo mining XDegs on ETC Apollos. I did an interview with lead developer yesterday. Spec mining play. Hey, is that the one that you tagged me in a tweet? I still gotta check that out. But is that what you're referring to? Is that one? I think something that'd be healthy for the network is if there were more affordable and efficient mini ASICs. Yeah, see, that's the big thing with mini ASICs, home mining, stuff like that, is the ones that actually gold shell and everyone releases for the home miner. it has a lot of skepticism. One, they're not that efficient. That's why they're not really that good. If they could actually make a nice efficient home miner that doesn't really use that much power at all compared to, like, you know, the KS3 or even the Kadena miner, the KD3 or KA3 that they do, then it would be great for home miners because they would be profitable and it's adding more decentralization to the networks. But these huge machines are just so efficient. Now, the other offset is, you know, if you're a home miner, you're not building out a farm or anything. You want one little thing, and, you know, 200 watts isn't going to wreck your power bill and cause you to go bankrupt. So you're able to mine that at a loss for a potential future pump. But it doesn't make sense. You don't want to go out and then build a farm out of these little home miners because then you end up losing money and wasting power at that point. So it all comes down to your point of view and everything. I can see, you know, small apartment miner, you want 1-2 miners, that's it. They're still okay even if you're kind of mining at a loss, and hopefully that coin pumps. But there's nothing as efficient as these big things BITMAIN are releasing. So yes, it would be nice to see those nice efficient miners drop at the same efficiency levels for the smaller people and better priced. But I highly doubt BITMAIN's ever going to do that. But we never know. They could surprise us. So we went through that, but we have one more numbers I kind of want to go over maybe. How many miners do you think will sell? Now, this is based on 5,000. Like, should we move it up to like 10,000 miners? Like, do we think more miners? Let's try like 10,000 miners or something crazy. Like, how bad could this actually get? So if we copy this over, I'm just going to move it down to here. I'm going to change this now to 10,000 miners. And now we got to run some numbers. So 10,000 miners, I just want to bring up this. 8.3 terahash times 10. I'll just go into here. So 8.3 terahash times 10,000 miners. 83,000, oh my gosh. 83,000 terahash. 83,000 terahash. That is 83 petahash. So for the network, we need 83 petahash plus the additional 1.2 or whatever is on the network. 1.12. So 83, 84.14. So now I got to move this to gigahash. This is going to be insane. Let's put our gigahash number in here and check some profitability based on 10,000 miners smashing out the network. All right, so now this 100 gigahash miner is now looking like freaking 42 cents. Let's just do a quick 0.460 megahash. So 460 megahash is a 3070. That's down to 0.001. So 1/10 of a cent is what an RTX 3070 would be making at the current price here. So let's take a look at the 3800 now. 8.3 terahash, I mean. So that, wow. So that's still $35 a day. But remember, this thing, if this thing drops at freaking $30,000 or something, and you're only making $35 a day, it's still not looking that hot. Or is it? Maybe it is for you. I don't know, but that's crazy. So let's just run through some quick numbers. Again, 8,300. 8,300. All right, so we're going from 2,746 at today's network hash and everything to 2,000 miners down to 168. 5,000 miners down to $70. I guess we could have just divided this by 2. 10,000 miners, $35 a day on a $30,000 miner. So obviously the people that turn it on first are definitely going to be benefiting here, but it's not going to last. This is why I see, you know, these numbers are huge, they're massive, but it's going to cause so much FOMO. It's crazy, and we've seen this happen with Kadena, and yeah, I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts? What do you guys think is happening here? What do you think then? How many of these things do you think will sell in the first year alone? Oh, it's going to be insane. If they launch mini 1 terahash mini ASICs at 300 to 500 watts, that'd be epic. Very true. Well, in theory, like look at the KS1. The KS1 is okay. Yeah, you're saying gigahash. So yeah, that's actually very true. But that would be cool. 100 gigahash, 100 watts. If they could boost that up, yeah, 1 terahash around a couple hundred watts would definitely be awesome for a home miner, but now you're picking, look at 1 terahash at 100 watts. You know, now you're blowing away the KS1s and KS2s. Again, it would come down the price. I think that would be good to really help out the home miners. But remember, we're dealing with ASIC companies here. Do they want to do that? Are they actually going to make a whole bunch of extra money out of the home miners, or are they not going to make it out of the home miners? So that's the big deal here. We don't know what they're actually going to do. Now let's talk a little bit about Ledger. All right, hold on. Oh, I see an ad went through. You guys back from the ad? Is the ad done? Ad happening? What's happening with the ad? Not happening with the ad? Something crazy happening with the ad? Casper won't pump. They killed it with a... Yeah, it's crazy. Anybody in chat? Let's see. I'm going to hit the refresh button. I might have a delay. Refreshing my stream as well. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's not working as it should. All right, so there. Hopefully we're back from the ad. What should I mine on AMD 6700 XT? I don't know. Let's have a look at hashrate.no and tell us what it tells us. Hashrate.no. Let's go to hashrate.no. Let's go into here. Let's go to 6700. 67. That's an XT, yeah. And so the most profitable coin right now, judging by this, is a lithium at 6 cents. So there you go. You got a lithium at 6 cent profit here after power. That's at 11 cent per kilowatt hour. I don't know what your power is, but I guess that would be the coin to mine on that. So let's talk a little bit about Ledger now. Have you guys heard what Ledger is doing? You guys know what's happening with Ledger? Anybody? I'm gonna wait for you guys to chat, see what you guys are talking about. So if you are looking for a new hardware wallet device, obviously I do have links in the description to the Tangent hardware wallet, the card thing, which we tested out, as well as Trezor. I always say it wrong, but I'm thinking about probably using one of those now all the time instead of my Trezor, or instead of my Ledger. So a recent update just happened on Ledger, and they're adding a subscription service. I don't know the full details yet, but it sounds like that now your seed phrase is being allegedly coded. You know, they're encrypting it, but it's going to be on other platforms, which means you can pay a subscription to then restore your wallet, or you can still obviously write down your seed phrase and have it yourself. But this opens up the back door of now they can get at your seed phrase. It's no longer locked. Originally, it was always you have your hardware wallet. No one else gets access to your seed phrase. It is yours. You know, you lose that, you just get a new ledger, restore it, you're good to go. Now it seems like they can get at your seed phrase, which means your crypto is no longer safe. You're like you're on an exchange at this point. And remember, Ledger had data leaks in the past. So previously in the past, you know, a lot of information went out, everyone's addresses, mailing, whatever, and everyone got spammed with scam emails constantly, whoever was on that. But your crypto was always safe. You held on to your seed phrase. You never lost that. You'd had no issues and worried about that. But now they're uploading it to data servers, and I don't know, I heard something about KYC. I have no idea what's going on with there. I can't guarantee if that's a thing or not, just rumors based on chats and stuff. But now, if they can upload your seed phrase and encrypted data to various servers so that they have backups for everybody, what if they get hacked again? Now, not only are you losing your actual email data and stuff to get scam emails, you will in fact lose your seed phrase at this point because they've proven in the past that they have been hacked for data. So it is no longer safe. So, you know, do your own research, look it up, but I can 100% say I can't recommend Ledger anymore. It's just that bad. And a lot of people are saying the same thing. They're done with Ledger. You know, they spend a lifetime of being secure and doing what you're supposed to do, and it takes 1 second to lose that and forever to build it back. So I think Ledger may be done. And here's one right here. This is actually, I put a tweet out with a poll. And look at this guy. Class action time. We've been sold devices that were told the seed phrase cannot and will not leave the enclave. Now it can. They have deliberately broken our devices, and trust devices can be fixed. Trust cannot. So there we go. They're done. I don't know what kind of PR team they're going to develop here, if they're going to try to revert it, but that's the thing. It's going to be hard to rebuild it now. So what if they release another update and say, okay, we removed that. Sorry, it was a bad idea. We didn't mean to. But now, did they actually? It could still be hidden in the background. It could still be there. Maybe everyone's seed phrase is already uploaded. We don't even know. So the point is, they lost all faith in everything. Ledger is probably done at this point. So, yeah. Crazy. And it's buffering. I have no idea what's going on with my bandwidth, what's going on with my streams lately. It's just been having issues. But what do you guys think about this whole Ledger thing? It's time to get off the Ledger boat and probably onto something else for sure. I don't feel safe holding my crypto with them anymore. And you know, do your own research, guys, but I'm assuming you guys probably don't feel safe with it as well. These cold wallets all claim the seed phrases aren't held on any server or anything. So they claim. That's very true. So they claim. But that's the thing. Do we trust them? Do we not trust them? Where do we hold our crypto now? Do we use a Trezor? Do we use a Tangent? There's some other one here I haven't tried yet, so I might check that one out too. It's a touchscreen. It almost looks like a Ledger Stacks, but it came out before the Stacks. The Stacks still isn't actually released, and I assume their sales are probably definitely going to drop now because of it. But yeah, crazy. Rabid cold storage. I am not getting involved in any type of hardware wallets. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Sending out keys or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. Like literally, they sold your product saying one thing, and they literally just changed their entire product of what it's meant to stand for. If that doesn't smell like class action lawsuit, I don't know what does. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe everyone's going to get a bunch of free Bitcoin here in the next couple of years. We'll see what happens. That'd be cool. But then again, they're probably just taking it from people to pay it out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Move your coins, guys. Move your coins. I should do that today. Definitely should do that today. These cold wallets all claim the seed free. Yeah, are not held up. We went to that. Seeding keys out. Yeah, crypt back done. Yell, Alephium, taking your keys. Sorry, I'm late with the price of this miner. What's the price? That's the big thing. You're talking about the KS3. We don't know what the price is going to be, but it's probably going to be at least $30,000. So some people were pointing it out that usually, you know, BITMAIN's going to have an ROI. They say ROI of 1 year. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen. But let's base it on, I guess, this number up here. So 1 year, let's just say 70 times 365. You know, that's $25,550 if it releases in 2 months. And this current block reward, obviously, the block reward is right now is a little bit higher, so they're making more. But yeah, this could be easily a 25 to 30K miner. And in the bull run, depending on the Casva price, you know, they'll probably release a new version. We're probably going to see our first 100K ASIC. Potentially. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy. We want the KS3 sample. They're not going to give out no samples. This is BITMAIN we're talking about. They don't do that. All they do is say, yeah, you can buy it and show it if you want. That's the BITMAIN way. Oh my gosh. Craziness happening. I use Atomic because I live in New York and they don't do KYC and have a built-in coin exchange for most coins. That's interesting, Brian. What are their fees on that? A lot of those built-in type of wallet coin things, their spread is fairly gapped. So if you want to do a quick swap or sell, you actually lose quite a bit because they just don't have the volume and stuff on top of whatever fees they're taking. Price. Yeah, crazy. The price is crazy. Anyway, guys, so I do believe Chump Change is online right now, though, talking about the Ledger thing. So I'm just going to find out. Just want to do a quick stream. I wanted to go earlier, but didn't run into it. So let's just see. Is Chump Change live? I don't see. Yeah, he's doing something about the Ledger thing right now. So I guess we'll point everyone towards you guys. Copy. Let's see if I got to figure out how to do this. I gotta move this in here for a raid. That. Oh man, I don't remember where the raid button is. I lost it. Raid. Customization? Where's the raid? I'm failing. Redirect. Oh, that might be it. Let's see here. Live. Yeah, right here. There you go. I'll save that. So I move it to a RAID. So here is Chump Change stream right now. So we're going to wrap this one up. Just a quick one. I don't want to go over top of Chump Change stream. So you guys can head over there, and he's supposedly talking with Yeti about the whole Ledger thing. So get in on that action. Let him know your thoughts and everything. But I will see you guys on the next one.
Rabid out.